Hi, I'm Melody Chalmers, and I teach with Metro North, ABE, and Columbia Heights. My students are primarily advanced ESL learners, and they are above a 220 on a CASAS and beginning the TABE process. So usually about a 3.0 on the E to a 5.9 on the M. And as well as I teach a GED class that is preparing for the GED and college preparation. And so I get to see students across a pretty broad spectrum of the ABE world. Relating to the ACEs and the TIF work that I've been doing, it's been amazing to see that implemented in testing it out in my class. So using the TIF lens of zooming in, I'm looking at the individual level, individual student in front of me, and what are that student's personal goals relating to the ACEs categories. And I zooming out then would be, what do I do as an overarching program, at a program level? How do I approach having the student meet those goals now, but also for farther out into the future? So what's their extended pathway? So I'd like to just talk to you briefly about a success story for a student that I've been working with in class. And she came into our program with actually quite a bit of background education. She has a BA from her home country, Latin America. She used to practice law, and she moved to the US, still building her English. So she's, of course, working a lot in the effective communication category, excellent in the critical thinking category, has a lot of skills there. And she took an entry-level job in a medical assembly factory just to pay the bills and take care of her family. So we began studying together in class about our future pathway, so really focusing on the developing a future pathway work. And she came to class saying, I'm paying my bills with this day-to-day job, but I haven't really thought about, I know what I don't want to do, and I don't want to continue what I'm doing, and I don't want to go back into law and go through all that process in the US. So it was a really great, she was a blank slate, so it was really great to work with her and saying, okay, we've got great beginning skills, let's find out what you are good at, what your interests are, and determine that. So going through some of the inventories that are listed as places to start in the complete TIF and developing a future pathway, we took some career interest surveys, some personality typing profiles, and it was interesting to discover with her Holland code related to her work, she didn't have a single realistic score at all. So obviously continuing work through work with her hands and in the factory, it was very clear, right, you're not on the correct pathway. So after taking those, she determined that she was really interested in education and had many basic skills that aligned with that career field. So we also worked with her on how to go after that job. So practicing a lot of interviewing skills and coming up with different ways to approach a change in career field for her. So all the way through looking at some job applications, completing them, doing research on the employer, and it came all the way through that she was offered a position as a bilingual assistant in a school setting. And so she just recently came in a couple weeks ago, brought flowers for our classroom just to celebrate her new beginning. And the great thing is to see that she knows now that that is just a beginning. Her zoom out complete goal will be to be a teacher. She wants to be a licensed bilingual K through 12 in the school system teacher. And so she's started on the right path, where before she had a lot of great basic skills but just didn't really have a direction. So that was really exciting to be able to work with her. She's met that first goal. Instead of walking in one night and saying, I think I want to be a teacher, now she really had a clear step-by-step process, and she's gaining critical skills and experience in that pathway now so that it really does become a reality for her later on. So thanks for letting me share a little bit, especially about developing a future pathway category and how it relates to zooming in, particular student right in front of you, and zooming out to see and help them for their full trajectory about where they're wanting to go in their future.